Hey, good Saturday evening. Happy 2026 to you all. Thanks for tuning in. Let's go ahead and do the progress video on my current build, which is actually it's a kit bash I'm doing. It's a AMT Mack 680 R685ST with the Ford C900 Garwood refuse body. So I'm doing a Mack R model garbage truck. So anyway, let's go ahead and get to the getting here. Got a lot going on. So there's the cab and the hood. I'm gonna pull the Garwood compactor body off here so I can show you the chassis. All right, got her. I'll just put her on down there. The roof will fall off because it's not secure. Anyway, let's start off with the chassis. So basically what I did is I took the top section of the frame rails from the C900 chassis, which has the 4 locating pins, and I cut them with a knife, with the hobby blade there, and then I sanded them smooth on the bottom. And then when I got the chassis together, I went ahead and glued them on to the top, and then I just made sure they were lined up. And then what I did is I took the base of the compactor and I put it down onto all 4 pins so that it would force itself and conform onto the frame rails while the glue was drying. And then what I did is I just flipped it upside down. I let it set for a few hours, and then when I came back, it was the glue had welded. So I use that tube glue. I usually use this stuff for sub-assemblies. I think that's what it's best for. I don't usually like to use it on painted surfaces because it doesn't adhere well, and of course it ruins paint. So yeah, that's what I think this stuff is good for. I usually use super glue for after, you know, like if I'm adding small parts afterwards. That's where the super glue comes in for me. But hey, everybody's different. That's how I do it. Anyway, so yeah, that's how I did the chassis for this, since it was going to be a garbage truck. I'm sure that's how a lot of people would do it anyway, right? So yeah, there's the chassis. Did some weathering. I did some very minimal surface rust on it, because it's, you know, it's a service vehicle, and I didn't want it to have, you know, I didn't want it to be towards the end of its life and then retired or anything. That's not what I was going for. But yeah, but it makes sense. I put the reflector there on the front of the fuel tank, because one that I saw online had one just like that, and I liked it. So I said, you know what, let me put a strip of that right there. There's your battery boxes. I did make a step for, it's not on yet, it's the paint's curing, but I used a small step from a GMC General kit to put on the passenger side here. So I'll get, when the paint's cured, I'll go ahead and get it on there. So yep, that's the deal with that. And I did some, you know, weathering inside the frame here, as you can see there. Looks pretty good. One complaint I have about these R model Mack kits from AMT is that it's just the way that they make the tires. They're very loose fitting. The first one I did, I had the same problem with. The tires were just really bad. I guess it was where I cut the excess polyurethane, I believe is what they use. And they just have a loose fit. Unfortunately, I wanted to use the bigger Uniroyal tires on this, but they were too big for the rims. So I said, whatever, I'll just deal with it, and I'll get those looser tires like this one here. I'll get them glued down before we're all said and done here. So I did have to put the rear support, the rear cab support on. It fell off, so I got it on there. I got some super glue on the front here to help reinforce and all that good stuff. It's lined up and it supports the cab pretty well. There's a radiator. I may or may not weather it. I might. If I do, it'll be very light. So yeah, so that's how that's going. So that's the chassis. And here, let's go with the cab. Of course, I did the truck was going to have a red cab, so with the pale green interior that's Mack's known for. In fact, let's pull the interior out. Give me 1 second. I'll get that out. Okay, let's get it out. Don't give me trouble. There we go. All right. So there's the interior. It's in the pale green, pretty close to the green that was known on these old Macks. I did the seats in a leather brown, and then I just dirtied them up from constant use. Did add a little bit of weathering on the steering wheel to kind of make it look like it's been rubbed, and how I usually see that when you have use. And I did add a little bit there on the door panels too. Not this one so much. A little bit there, I guess. So, of course, the rubber floor mat's dirtied up too from constantly getting in and out of the truck. So, yeah. So that's the interior. I'm happy with it. Oh, let's actually show off the firewall. There's your firewall detail. I detailed it, and then I did some road grime build up on it. Looks pretty good. I like it. Yeah, the Mack R actually has one of the some of the best detail on an AMT heavy truck. I think the Mack kits definitely have some of the best of the detail. There's your rubber boot for the steering. I still got to put the steering shaft in it, but I'll do that when the cab is finally secured to the chassis. Okay, there's your hood. As your typical Mack R model hood. I went with an all black grill there. You know, didn't want anything too fancy. There's your Mack logo or your Mack emblem on the front of the hood, of course on the sides. And then there's your headlamps or headlights, whatever the hell you want to call them. Well, people call them headlamps, headlights. So the fenders, I dirtied them up, as you can see, and there's some weathering inside on the underside of the hood there. And of course, there's your front mud flaps, nice and dirty. Okay, so that's the hood. We'll talk more about the cab. So I got the cab done. I got the Fernwood DPW decals on the doors. They look good enough. It would have been nice to have other options, though. You know, different refuse company names and stuff. That would have been a lot better. I wish I would have known before I drilled out the passenger holes here for an air horn. I wish I would have known this kit only had one air horn. If I would have known that, I wouldn't have even drilled them. But hey, no one's going to see them, so I'm not even stressing about it. You know what I mean? It's going to sit way up on a shelf. So yeah, the glass is in, very easy. I like that. It's just one piece and it just goes in there. The grab handles on these Mack Rs are a pain in the butt. They're easy to fall off. I actually had to reinstall the driver's side one. And as you can see, you can kind of see where it fell off on the bottom. For anyone who has not done the Mack R, just want to give you a heads up on mine. I can't remember if the first one I dealt with it or not. Where the marker lights and where the horns go, the holes are really small, so you have to really drill them just to get the air horn and the marker lights to go down flush with the roof. I really had to drill them out more with the drill, and then I had to use my hobby knife to really widen the holes. So yeah, just be aware of that if you're doing this kit. You may have the same issue. On the back of the cab, I did some grime buildup, and especially on the bottoms of the doors and the panels there. You can see there. I really added it right here because that's where the exhaust stack is going to go. So I figured I could, you know, add some soot that might have built up right there. That was where I was going with that. So, in fact, let's go on to the motor. There's your Mack END. I believe it's a 675 engine. Let me see. Let me see what the box says. Is that right? It's a yeah, 675 6-cylinder turbo diesel. When I did my first R model, I did it in a gold color. This one I did not want to go gold. I wanted to do a gray one, so that's what I did. I actually painted it a Krylon matte dark gray. So I thought it was close enough, and then of course I weathered it. Some rust areas, dirt buildup, you know, oil buildup, stuff like that. Of course, the exhaust manifold and exhaust side of the turbos rusted. I painted the water filter up there a red color, and then the dual, what is that, the fuel filters? I'm trying to think, is that the fuel filters? Or is that the oil filters? Well, whatever the hell, whichever. Painted them blue. And I did the little gold, you know, to represent that they're Mack filters. So I believe those are, yeah, oil filters. I'm sorry, your oil filters, I think. If I'm wrong, correct me on that. But yeah, there's your starter and intake manifold, your lower radiator hose. I left the turbo oil supply line off, and the crankcase breather tube is off too, because they're just going to fall off. So we'll wait. So that's the motor. I'm pretty impressed with it. Let's see. There's your air cleaner with the intake pipe. I got a little bit weathered, and just some minor dirt buildup on the base of the air cleaner, which came out pretty good, of course. Okay, there's your exhaust stack. I rusted it out pretty good. I even added some soot buildup on the top. There's your muffler there. So yeah, I even added some shade of flat black to just kind of give it some nice shadowing and, you know, dirt buildup or whatever. So that's how that goes. Your collector, that's your collector that goes from the turbo to the elbow, and I based this off of a real one that I saw, pretty much, and then that piece here in the center was still like an aluminum color, so that's how I did mine. Of course, I rusted it out really good, and then I added some more of the shadowing detail there. I'm pretty happy with it. There's your elbow. Did the same thing. Let's see. The bumper, I just painted a same color of, you know, a satin black, and then I did some weathering on it. So that's your bumper. All right, so that is that for the chassis and the truck. Now let's get on to the compactor. Oh, there was the roof. So there's your valve, your control valve manifold. I just painted it black, and then I did some, actually, did I do anything to it? I haven't done anything to it, so I'm going to have to detail some of those fittings and valves on it still. But you can see the underside's pretty dirtied up and stuff like that, as it would be. You can see the weathering detail on the side walls. There's your compactor blade. So what I did, so what I wanted, I was trying to go for a scrape, like a scrape effect here on the floor of the compactor. So what I did is I took some brown, nutmeg brown craft paint, and I put it on the underside of the compactor blade, and I just dragged it from front to back, and I was trying to just get that scrape effect. And it wasn't the result, quite the result I was looking for, but it was good enough, and you can actually see what it did. So in fact, if you look inside here where that piston is there, you can see where it went from front to back. Looks pretty good in there. I'm pretty happy with the weathering. So yeah, this is all together and locked in place. And of course, right here, I'm going to actually put real garbage in it. I've actually been collecting little pieces of candy wrappers, plastic bag pieces, cardboard, stuff like that. And I'm going to be just loading this up here. I'm going to make it look like it's been compressed, and that's the plan. Hey, I figure if you're going to do a garbage truck, might as well go all out and, you know, do it the real way, right? There's your reflector markings on the base of the walls there, and yeah, it's looking good. I did the whatever filter that is, I painted it white. Let's see. So we'll move on from there. Here's the underside of the roof. Same thing, just did some weathering to it. I haven't done the top of it. I may or may not. I probably will. Just not as bad as the bottom or the sides, but probably just do some minor weathering on it, I think. Okay, so let's go to the tailgate. And as you can see, there's the trash that I've already started to put in the back of the tailgate there where it gets dumped. The panel here, I gotta put it on here. Let's see if I can do that. Can I do that one-handed? If not, give me 1 second. All right. Let's get that on there. Okay, it's on there. Okay. All right, so it's on there. I still have to put the that bottom wall. In fact, I'll show it to you real quick. I still got to put that in. I got to scrape those hydraulic cylinder parts. I still got to scrape them down so that they can go inside the upper hydraulic arms. But you can see it's nice and weathered, and it's definitely been well used. So yeah, that's going to take some time. But anyway, you can see the trash that I've already accumulated inside the tailgate. So it's looking pretty good. Definitely not done with it yet. Just got to come up with some more things. Actually, a piece of my trash fell out. There we go. There's another wrapper there to add. The top here, I weathered it. The winch there, I detailed it there, and then of course you can see the marker lights on the back there. We'll go ahead and pull this off now so you can see what I did inside. And you can see all the rust buildup and the dirt buildup and all whatever, you know, some mixtures of different colors, black, you know, all flat colors, of course. I did actually, I'm gonna go ahead and pull this out. I did actually, if I can even, might not be able to just get all this out correctly. I'll figure it out. But I gotta pull that out. It's not coming out. Well, maybe you can see it from the other side. Well, anyway, but you can kind of see the top there. I threw some white paint on there as if something, you know, as if a bag broke and some fluid had spilled onto it or something like that. I think that's a good way to describe what's going on there. Maybe it was paint, you know, maybe it was a bucket of paint that someone threw in their trash or whatever the case may be. But yeah, no, I'm putting real trash in it, and just to add to the realism. So, like I say, I got to get this this other wall, this or whatever the hell this is. I'm not really familiar with the anatomy of a garbage truck, but yeah, I got to get this part in here, but I got to clean up most of that silver or chrome or whatever I did in it, and so it'll go in there. The little fittings, the little hydraulic fittings, I went ahead and detailed them using a silver and a gold Sharpie to kind of give it those copper fittings. I thought that was the right approach, really. I thought that looked right to me. So, yeah, there's the back side of the tailgate there. So, yeah, it looks pretty good. Definitely enjoying this build a lot. I've always wanted to build a garbage truck, so when it was just a matter of figuring out what chassis I wanted, because I wasn't really feeling the C900. I wanted a diesel, you know. When I think of a garbage truck, I think of a you know, a tandem axle diesel. I don't think of a gasoline engine. So it just wasn't what I wanted. I just wanted a full-size garbage truck, and I don't know, I was really thinking that the Mack R model was the right chassis for this project, and so far it's looking great. You guys saw the little sneak peeks, so it just really flows well. It looks right. So I'm very impressed with it. Yeah. Let's go ahead and show off some more of the hydraulic cylinder parts and some other exterior parts that I still have to install. Let's see. I think that's about right, I think. Okay. So there's some more armature there. It goes on the outside part of the outer hydraulics. There's your one of your plates here that welds on, that holds one of the arms there. Like I said, I gotta clean this up too, make it to where I can get it in. Here's a couple of your outer hydraulic arms here with the same hydraulic fitting detail that I did. As you can see the copper tips. Yeah, so you can see it. I weathered them. So the handles, I did install the handles probably a little too soon. They fell off on me, and I said, you know what, that's okay. I'll just make that one of the last things that I do. These are the handles that go on the sides of the tailgate there, where the garbage men hold on to, of course. So the PTO pump here, I need to mount that to the transmission. I did that, and then when I was doing a test fit, it fell off. So I'm gonna have to install this after the engine is already permanently down. So yeah, I just painted it black and probably give it a little bit of weathering. Might as well, it's gonna be under the truck, right? So here's your crankcase breather piping for the one of the valve covers. I believe it's the back valve cover, or maybe it goes in between both of them. I can't remember exactly. The instructions will show, but that's it. That's pretty much the gist of it all. I mean, that's most of everything that I'm doing. So like I said, there'll be more trash to go in it. I think I'm going to leave the roof of the compactor unglued, so that if I want to lift it up just to look inside, I can do that. Because all it really does is just hold everything together. I mean, so yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. I don't think I'm going to glue this down. So yeah. So anyway, I still got a lot to do now. You know, I'm not anywhere near done. So, but she is definitely ready for final assembly, I feel. So, but yeah, it will take some time. Of course, I'm not in no rush, obviously. So, you know, there's probably more weathering that's going to come, and I'm going to do that wherever it needs it and all that good stuff. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this. I'm very excited to get it together, and before you know it, we'll be doing the final reveal on it. Oh yeah, real quick before I go, I did go ahead and black out, when we were talking about weathering, I went ahead and blacked out this front driver's side drive wheel. I just wanted it to have a lot of grime in there, so I did that. I thought it looked good. So yeah, like I say, she's coming together, and I'm happy with it. So first time building a garbage truck, and probably build another one, but maybe the next one I'll do as a cab over type. You know, I like cab over garbage trucks too. So who knows, never know, I might even do, I mean, it's a lot of work, but I might even do a C900 as a tandem axle, you know, with a diesel. I'm sure you can do it. It's just going to take some work, but it's possible, you know. It's definitely not impossible to do. So yeah, that would probably be in the future. Who knows, maybe I'll find a resin day cab that, you know, we see all the time. You know, maybe someone makes an auto car cab, or a one of those Kenworth garbage truck cabs. You never know. Maybe there's a Mack cab over that was used. You know, you never know what you'll find. So yeah, that's definitely in the future. Speaking of the future, so after this truck is done, I'm going to be starting the the Alaskan hauler Kenworth, and that one's going to be fun. It's going to be weathered heavily. It's going to be black with a red chassis, and the Cummins engine will be red, because I'm going with the driver. Bought it, and he bought it brand new, and he wanted his engine custom colored to his liking, so he had the factory painted red. It's gonna look good. So again, that's next. So yeah, you guys enjoy this progress report, and we'll see you on the final reveal video once I get this all together. So we'll see you then. Have a good night.